Today, I've got a lovely guest with me. Introduce yourself.
Hi there, my name's Emma and I'm the aesthetic nurse practitioner at the Babington Clinic, the aesthetics clinic in Frome in Somerset.
Ooh. And you're also registered on the Glow Day app, aren't you?
I am, yes, and I think that's how you found me,
yeah.
as well as being quite local. I'm on Glow Day, which is it's a booking app, and there's registered medical professionals on there, so nurses, doctors, dentists, to try and keep medical aesthetics safe in the wild, wild west.
Because we say that because the UK right now is the wild, wild west for aesthetics. There's no qualification. Like anyone, like if I got a needle and the stuff, I could just, you know, do it in a hair salon.
You could just join me today.
I could just basically steal this uniform and tell you to hold my pickle for de-stressing, and whilst I inject the shit out of you, but I'm not, don't worry. I'm not, don't worry. It is the wild, wild west in the UK with it, so what I really want to do is take you on this journey with me to really show you and give you confidence if you're interested, like where to go. So Glow Day is a really good resource, and also the Tweakments guide. Everything's going to be listed below for it. Any other top tips from you that you could like know or like ask your practitioner? What do you think?
I think the most important thing is to do your research, and also to not just turn up and have a treatment on your first visit. That's why I strongly encourage people to come and have a consultation. I need to meet you, but you need to meet me. Come and ask me questions. Who am I? What are my qualifications? Do your nosing around. What am I actually a qualified nurse? Yes, I am. But I like it when people ask me. You know, you've only got one face. You can't fuck it up. Okay? You need to keep yourself safe when the government is not keeping you safe. We're trying to self-regulate here, and this is really hard work. So you need to keep yourself safe, I'm afraid. So it's doing your research, not being fooled by an Instagram full of beautiful pictures of lips. Because yes, you can achieve that.
So what would you say, out of say 100 Instagram accounts that might be out there, what percentage would you say would potentially be unregulated?
Oh, the majority.
The majority.
To be fair.
Okay, so, you know, and so what difference does that make to someone having the treatment? So what do you think, how does that impact? Obviously you've not got someone that's qualified in medical to say if something goes wrong.
It's the when something goes wrong. So they'll be able to give you a lovely outcome, I'm sure, and they can give you a beautiful pair of lips. But it's the whole process. So I've taken your medical details and a consent form, and it isn't just about ticking boxes. What it's about is, what do I do with that information? So if you have a reaction, or if something actually went wrong today, it's about interpreting that information, and that I have the knowledge and skills behind me. If you had a reaction today, what would I actually be doing about that? The drugs, they're prescription only, so how have these people got hold of it? Was it through legal channels? Or in fact, they legitimate? Are they licensed?
So name the prescription. So you've got obviously the anti-wrinkle
Anti-wrinkle,
is, so Botox is a brand, folks. And then what else? So filler, you were saying, is it
filler is not prescription only. So somebody can inject you with filler, and that's legal. There's a dissolving agent for filler. That's prescription only. So it's the when something goes wrong, we're back to that. And so we're injecting your face, we occlude an artery, we start to kill off your lip. Okay, I say we. So it's when that happens, and they have to use the dissolving agent. Well, it's prescription only, so how have they got hold of it for you?
And then you question the quality. Is it in date? Where was this thing from? Because it's not, you know, essentially buying, it would be like buying paracetamol from a street corner. Like, you just don't know what...
Well, this is the thing. So, I mean, I will show you my Instagram messages later, and I'll show you the people that are sending me links, like WhatsApp me for whatever, and it will be for these prescription meds, but they're imported, they're just stored in a warehouse somewhere, so they're not even refrigerated or kept at a proper temperature. This is the thing, and that's why they can get hold of it.
And that's why you pay, you know, you invest and pay for, it's not just the injection, which itself doesn't take too long.
That takes
everything,
2 ticks,
but everything that goes around it. It's, you know, your training, your knowledge of your career, of what you've done, the anatomy, to the storage of everything, to getting all the proper equipment. You know.
It's the bigger picture. You're paying for me to be regulated, and if anything were to happen, you have me accountable to a council that can strike me off. Right? But oh God, no pressure. But if I wasn't, well,
what happens
I
then?
probably wouldn't even need insurance.
You might just change your name and open a new clinic, and that's it,
right? So for me, if I had to try and find somebody, I would want them regulated. I wouldn't just want an Instagram of pairs of lips. I'd actually want to see their face. Who are you? Before I turn up. Who are you? What do you look like? Have I heard your voice? Like, who is doing these injections? Can I actually trust you with my face? It's massive. It's massive.
It's huge.
It's not like, well, actually, I'm a bit funny when I go and have my hair done, but it's not just a haircut where it will grow back.
Sore point there. Sore point. But we've all been there. We've all been there.
We've all been there. I keep having a fringe cut. I must stop.
Just stop.
Just stop.
Stop asking for it. But anyway, we're going to take you on a journey. I've been injected now, but you know, it's you wouldn't kind of know. It's very subtle, but as you say throughout this whole video, each person's different, and we talk through different kind of scenarios and things. So yeah, any questions, pop them below. Let's get to it.
Yes.
How often? So you've started your Botox, you've had your one treatment, you say you've done your 2-week follow-up, and it's all good.
So it's, to start off with, it's like the opposite to going to the gym. So when you go to the gym, you are building up muscles. What we want to do is the opposite to that, and what we want to do is actually just stop these muscles moving. So it's a drug. We've got a drug regime of no sooner than every 3 months. So when people start off having anti-wrinkle injections, I find that they come quite often, so every 3 months, because we're doing the opposite to the gym thing. And what we're doing is just letting these muscles just atrophy and just kind of wither a little bit. Regulars that have been coming here for years, I might not see for 6 months, because we've done that initial initial bit of training, and then their maintenance might only be every 6 months. So to start off with, yes, there is a little bit of hard work and a bit of regime, but if you're doing the injections every 3 months plus the skincare regime, whatever it is that works for you, and consistency.
We like that word.
Consistency.
Got practice it though.
That's the hard bit. Then you can get to the point where you're a 6 monthly person, but again, it's really individual. So 4 months, 5 months, whatever your budget can allow. That's the thing. But then we've got people who come here just for the special occasions. And why not? You know?
And in terms of cost, what are we looking at? Would you say as an average? So let's say we're maybe just looking at one area. I know each area will be different depending on the dosage, the amount given. So it's really hard to.
That's the thing. So if you start seeing Botox being advertised at £50 an area, so when we're saying an area, they're talking about crow's feet or frown lines or whatever. So that's one area. 2 areas tends to be 2 areas, okay? But it can get really confusing, and I don't expect people to know that. That's why I'll sort that out for you. You
Yeah.
tell me what you need doing, and I'll tell you,
Yeah.
and then we'll talk cost. But if you see it for 80, you know, 50, £80, no, because the drug costs more than that. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And so you can be looking for an area of above £150, okay? Because you're paying for somebody's expertise.
Yeah.
Price of the drug, it's expensive. Their training, their expertise, their insurance, everything else. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But it's the price of the drug. So if you see it cheap, it's not real.
So we're looking at about a starting cost of 150, and then it just goes up, because obviously it depends who does it. Because if it is someone that's like maybe a well-known, like, famous inject, you know, then it goes into that territory where
if you're in the centre of London and they're a celebrity,
exactly,
then you're going to pay.
You pay £1,000, you know.
You can
plus
exactly.
You know? So it's all, but it's good to have that basic kind of.
You need to know that cheaper doesn't necessarily mean better.
Yeah,
that's the thing, and that actually it should be reassuringly expensive.
So with people, we sort of discussed this slightly off camera, and it was people sort of deciding to do it. Obviously, you're adults. You can make that choice for yourself, but this is where the consultation is so important, because it could be something very superficial.
Yeah.
That is unrealistic to achieve. For example, if you've got this, you know, Kim Kardashian lookalike filter on your face, then, and you look like me or you look like Emma, we're never gonna look like that.
What?
Sorry. I'd make a very good practitioner, wouldn't I?
Yeah. But we have to be blunt and realistic from the start. It's the same way, you know, your makeup skills can't make me look like Kim Kardashian.
Well, actually.
But we need to be realistic, and that's why it all comes down to consultation. You know, whatever your reason why, that's yours. Yeah. But I need to make sure that we've got this realistic expectation and manage it. Exactly. And you know, hairdressers have the same things with people going in with pictures of, you know, whatever, and completely unrealistic.
Exactly.
And we've got this, and we've got this with filters, and we need to champion the no filter face.
100%.
And it's incredibly difficult, and it's so easy just to stick a filter on and then go, well, I want to look like that.
Totally. And you were saying earlier that since the pandemic, a lot of people like using Zoom and stuff. They're obsessing with how they look on that, and you know, it's a crap quality camera. It's at the most unflattering angle.
You're looking at yourself and you're doing this.
It's about reassessing and maybe working on the language you talk to yourself about. We all have it. We all have.
People say horrible things about themselves.
This is it, and I think we both experienced this, because when we met up for coffee, we were saying a lot of the time when you've got a new client, they'll sit down in your chair and tell you everything that's wrong with them. Horrible. And you're like,
I don't see
that.
No, I see this amazing woman who's got a business, who's got kids, and they're holding stuff together, and you've made it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes they just need to hear that.
Exactly.
As opposed to having a facelift.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so that's what we have in consultations is, my God, you're just amazing.
Yeah.
And have that conversation first.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sad.
I know. It is sad, but it's the truth, and it is the truth. You know, so many people do it, and of course it's acknowledging your face, and if it's weathered a bit, we'll you know, celebrate the fact that you're freaking alive and well, and got your health, and
we've made it through this shitty pandemic that's tried to ruin us, but we're still standing. Like, that's amazing.
Amazing.
Fair play. I haven't done my makeup. You've gone very silent now, your video.
Yeah, she's got all shy.
Got all shy, I can't.
She's not normally this shy, guys.
No, I'm not. I'm normally doing lunges and tap dances to try and take your mind off things. Yeah, I don't mind. So as you can see, I'm just using the sturdy drawing up needle, which is new, and a different syringe for each area, and just essentially working out how much we need for where we're going to go now that I've had a good look at your beautiful little face.
I think that's the thing. There's no set.
Where
you know, it's
well,
bespoke.
it kind of is.
Yeah.
Right. Now I can't do both at once because I need to concentrate on this, but I'm going to tell you about that in a bit.
Okay.
So I use one massive drawing up needle, which is the size of the one that you have for like COVID jabs, flu jabs and stuff. That alarms people, but it's going nowhere near your face. And then I swap over to one called the invisible needle, which is the one that will go near your face, which is, funnily enough, pretty invisible. I can see it, but...
Does it wear a little cape?
Yeah, it's...
We are joking here, by the way, guys. Anyone
But it's got superpowers, so you hardly feel it. Buttes. So there is a set amount that you should have.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like taking a drug. It's a drug, okay? Yeah. So say paracetamol, okay? An average adult should take 2 tablets for a headache. Yeah. Okay. So the manufacturers of Botox and other brands have given us a guide, like paracetamol have given us a guide of X amount to use in certain areas. For it to be effective for X amount of time, i.e. 3 months, because you can't re-inject for 3 months. So yes, there is a dosing guide, but obviously everyone is different, and you do need to play around with it. Whether baby Botox actually works, or whether this is a marketing sort of gimmick, because dose equals duration. So people who have baby Botox may look good for a couple of weeks, but it will probably wear off very quickly. Yeah. So if people come in asking for that, what I will reassure them is that they will have a dose that will work, a dose that's appropriate, but actually we need something that's going to give them value for money, but also a treatment that's effective in the same way that if you just took one paracetamol,
it's not really going
to work. So we need to think of it more as a drug, a dosing regime, rather than a beauty treatment.
And talking of beauty treatment, actually, I think it's so important to have your solid skincare routine. I think it's...
Well, that's the thing, this in isolation, rubbish.
Yeah.
There's no point coming in just having this and then going out and...
Yeah. It's not a quick fix.
It's not a quick fix.
It's part of a thing.
It's part of a thing. It's part of a thing, exactly. Yeah. And why not? And you get to have a little lay down. Yeah. Why do you have it down? It's part of your self-care. Yeah. It's part of this ritual.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter whether you're using, you know, big buck brands or cheaper brands, as long as it's working for you and you're doing something and you're doing it consistently.
Yeah. That's the magic word.
That's the magic word.
So if you go into a clinic and see this being pulled out of a bag like that, these are actually insulin needles, and it could be a potential red flag. They blunt really quickly. What you want to see on your practitioner's kind of table is a mixture of needles, because they do blunt, so you want a variety of sizes and just different options to use fresh ones. And then here we've got the Azilor, which is the anti-injection medication and powder, and then the mixing agent, so it turns into the liquid to inject.
22 years of nursing experience, and each vial gets mixed up with X amount of saline for injection, with great care not to go shaking it around. Of course, this vial of saline will just get thrown away after you've been. That's one. But we're going to use 2 vials. As you can see, if I just kept using one of the little insulin needles, it would blunt as soon as you put it through the rubber stopper. So you need something a bit more sturdy. As you can see, even that one is blunting, and it's a sturdy old brute. And that is it mixed. There we go. Frown. There we go. So you can see the edges of it there. So we're going to inject here, a couple of points across here, and so it will stop you from developing frown lines here. When you raise your eyes, there we go. I mean, you don't have many lines, so we're just going to do a light little smuttering along here just to stop you from developing lines. Smile. There we go. And you don't even have lines here, but what we can do is just see if we can just raise your eyebrow a little bit, just at the edges, and just do just a couple there. You don't need many. You've got beautiful skin. That's all we're going to do. Be lovely. This is just cleaning, getting your SPF off.
Oh, it's got to be protected, folks.
Yes. So we're going to inject this complex of muscles here, and when you frown the other way.
Oh, sorry.
There we go. I can I can see the edges of the muscle quite clearly, so I can inject nice and deeply into the belly of the muscle. Okay, we want to make sure that we're in the belly of the muscle so that we avoid any eyebrow droop or any eyelid droop, which would be if your eyelid was actually drooping. The other way we can avoid that is actually injecting within your forehead quite high up and also within the middle. By doing that, what we will end up doing, if we don't inject around here, you'll actually get a natural lift of the eyebrows on the side. What you don't want to end up is too much of an evil Edna, which is when you end up with too much of a lift, and that's sometimes a bit of a dead giveaway that you've had Botox. And what I would do is, when you come back for a review at 2 weeks, if you've got a bit of an uncontrollable evil Edna, doing this is just pop an extra bit of Botox just there, just to soften it. But what we want is to open up the eyes, so stop this from frowning, inject here so we can just elevate there a little bit, but not make you look like a frozen Frankenstein's monster.
Oh,
I know, it's nice, right?
So why is the review in 2 weeks?
So the review's in 2 weeks because you actually won't have any result today. You'll leave here today with a few little bumps because we've injected something with the consistency of water.
Yeah.
The bumps will go down within 15-20 minutes, so by the time you're home, you're fine. But we've got to allow this time to actually bind within the muscle, do what it needs to do, and actually it can take up to 2 weeks to kick in.
Yeah.
And what you'll find is you may kick in unevenly, so you may find that this is still triggering, but this is beginning to soften. Takes up to 2 weeks. So at 2 weeks, that's why I get you back, because we won't see a result today, and in 2 weeks we will know where the injections have actually kicked in, and whether we have a bit of an evil Edna or a dozy Dora, and then we can actually make adjustments. Now we can't take anything away, which is why we need to spend time getting this right, but we can add.
Yeah.
So really important.
Amazing.
When you haven't been to me for a couple of times is come for that review in 2 weeks.
So when looking at my face, this is kind of what you're looking at, all the muscle groups, because there are so... How many muscles are in the face?
Oh, come on now.
A lot.
A
that
lot.
just translates as a lot.
Yes.
So this is why it's so important to get that grouping correct, because if you don't, it's not going to be cute.
This isn't going to be good looking if we get this wrong.
No.
No.
This is now a sterile swab going over
Yeah, so this is hypochlorous acid. Absolutely love this. Called Clinicept. Or...
I love Clinicept. I've got it in my kit.
Have you? Oh my god, I love this. Now, if I don't use this every day, every couple of days, I will get spots on my face. Or if it's hot out, give myself a little spritz. I have to say, it's absolutely genius.
It's not alcohol based, is it?
It's not alcohol.
Yeah.
And so, from that point of view, clients are less likely to have an allergic reaction to it because it's a naturally occurring substance. Not that I want this to go in your eyes, but if you get it in your eyes, it's fine. You can get it in your lips. Yeah. You'll be fine. You can use it as a mouthwash. It's just absolutely genius, life-changing. And people think I'm crazy when I recommend it for acne, rosacea.
Oh, it's so good. During the pandemic, I was recommending it for like nurses and stuff, you know, wearing, or anyone getting irritation throughout the day, so you just spray it and...
Well, I think that's when I first started smothering myself in it, was during the pandemic, wearing a mask so much, and just never stopped. So, I'm going to get you to do the frowny thing, and we can see the end of these muscles here. So on the little poster on the wall, it looks a bit like a butterfly or a moth. But when you're frowning, it's this big, meaty thing here. And then when you relax, I can see where your pupils are, and I'm not going to go over that line with these. And that essentially keeps us within a nice safe zone with this big meaty muscle here, which we just need to just relax a wee bit. So, with regards to your forehead, I'm going to get you to raise...
My battery's about to die.
Forehead. Right, if you raise your eyebrows. There we go. So, you've got a beautifully neat forehead, okay? So if I inject too low down, we will only end up dropping your eyebrows. So actually, you'll be surprised about how high up I'll probably end up doing your injections. And actually probably not many. Relax your eyebrows. And if I leave this portion here, we should hopefully get a little bit of a
lift.
A lift. There we go.
So what you're doing now, does anything potentially help with migraines? Because obviously I suffer with them. Not like major, you know.
So there is a specific migraine protocol that uses Botox brand, and we're using Azala here.
Ah, okay, so it's a different brand.
But if you're holding tension within your forehead, then yes, there is a potential to relieve tension headaches if caused by these muscles. Now, interestingly, with the Botox migraine protocol, it's very close to this sort of constellation of injecting here and here, but then it moves on around here, around the back. But also what's really nice is it actually goes down the traps here, because we're holding a lot of tension there. It works on some people. Obviously it doesn't work on hormonal migraines,
totally.
But tension migraines, it's actually really effective.
Okay, just interesting.
But you might find that this helps. I'll tell you what also does help is if you're...
Jaw.
Yes. So if you're a little
grinder
and a chewer, I mean...
There.
Yeah, I can feel your little walnuts, bless you. You might find that you get relief from headaches, migraines, if in fact what you're doing is grinding away at night. So that's a potential treatment that also, I'm not saying that you have a big jaw, but what I'm saying is that...
Just saying I've got a big jaw.
I'm just saying you don't have a big jaw, but it can slim
the face.
But you do need to be very, very careful in who has this done for this face slimming, because you've got the potential, not that you have jowls either,
to drop.
Yes, dropping gels.
Drop a wrong muscle.
Yeah, because you make this slimmer, well, where's everything going to go? Well, here. Something's got to give on your face. Everything that we do is going to have a reaction.
Yeah.
And I think it's really worth noting that and talking about it before we do anything.
Totally.
Very interesting. Right, okay. I'm just making sure I've got the right syringe. There we go. Right, okie dokie. See if you can pick up the invisible needle. Do you want me to poke this in front of your face so you can have a look?
Yeah.
I don't know, can you see? Where are you?
Maybe put it on the black here.
Oh, where are you?
Oh! Yeah, you can. Yeah, we can see the needle.
Invisible.
Really tiny.
It's tiny, that's the thing. And I don't even put all of it in. So there we go. Now, if you weren't holding the camera, what I would offer you is squeezy balls, if you wanted to, or a little vibration device to distract you. Some people use ice packs. Some people just sit back and enjoy me singing.
Feel free. What are you going to sing for us today?
I won't sing, I promise. Okay, so my hand's going to go in front of your face, which is just going to annoy everything. And you will feel it cold. Okay, and a bit of a pinch.
Seagulls singing for us.
See, they're my backing singers. Singing a bit of Mariah Carey out there. And you know, like sometimes when you pluck your eyebrows or something and it makes you want to sneeze. Sometimes it's that sort of feeling that people get. Obviously, if you don't like it, tell me.
Well, that was a strong one.
And the thing is, if you've got really tense muscles, you feel it. But you know that there's an end in sight, and you just kick back, breathe, and we have a breather before doing the next round. Nice and easy. That's the first batch done. Still alive? Yeah.
So for me, like the centre ones were pretty much fine. It was just more those outer edges where you've mentioned that I've got a very strong muscle that sort of look like horns underneath or above my brows.
And because we've put, you know, a volume of saline in there, it looks red, a bit bumpy, and generally by the time people get out to their car it's gone down. But this is what I would expect, all right? And obviously everyone is different, but we've poked you with a needle.
There's going to be some, you know, you've traumatised the skin and the muscles, so there's going to be a reaction.
You're going to have something, exactly. And generally just go as fast or slow as people want. Yeah, exactly. I'm in no rush. Really nice, long appointments. Doesn't matter. Now up here it feels slightly different, okay? Because this bit bulky, this bit extremely thin skin and muscle. All right. Does it look weird filming yourself?
Kind of get used to it. That's a sneezy one for me.
That's the thing, and everyone feels this differently. And pain is so subjective. But by using a fresh needle for each area, it keeps the needle sharp. Which actually makes it more comfortable. Or otherwise they blunt really easily. You're doing good.
Thanks.
And they just look like little gnat bites. And already these ones are going down. How are we doing?
All good, thank
All
you.
Good. So I'm going to have a little look at your eyes. That's why I like this Clinicep, because if we were use something alcohol based, you'd get the
stinging.
The fumes in your eyes would be absolutely...
It'd be watering as well by now.
it would be really awful. And in fact, all you've got is the smell of some nice chlorine instead. It just smells like swimming pools.
And you can pick it up at Boots. The price has gone up though since the pandemic.
The price has gone up, but...
It used to be under £10, but it's well worth it still.
It's really good because you can have just the spray as well, and you can use it to clean your hands, clean your underarms, clean your face. So it is really good. Right, okie doke. So the eyes have got a ring of muscle going all the way round, so we need to be careful that we don't inject all the way round, because we do need movement in the eye. And if you inject too much, you'll actually end up with swelling around the eye, because you need the movement of the eye to keep the lymph going. All right, so we'll probably just do maybe a couple each side, because you don't need much. Just feels a bit different. Feels like I'm closer to your eye than I am, I promise. If people are going to bruise, it does tend to be around their eyes. I'm not saying that you have. I'm just saying.
That's quite a hot spot.
Yes, exactly. Tend to have lots of little tiny veins around. Bruising always tends to be worse on hot days. Or if you've been drinking alcohol, running around, go to the gym afterwards, that sort of thing. Right, we're going to have head the other way, and we'll do the same the other side. You're doing fab, because it can be a bit nerve-wracking letting somebody close to your eye. And of course, let's not forget other uses of Botox. They use it for spasming of the eyes as well, so it's really interesting, the medical uses of it. Well, look at you. You survived. So it's just a case of getting rid of any of the white eyeliner that I put on. And I always use the Clinicep afterwards. And then I've got a post-procedure cream that I use by Tioxane, which has got arnica and chlorhexidine in.
Love arnica.
It's really good, yeah, and so you'll get some to take home as well. But like I say, I mean, if it's a hot day and if you're running around afterwards, if you're going to bruise, you're going to bruise. We've kept injection points to a minimum, and that's the thing to do. And it keeps risks to a minimum that way. That's that.
Lovely.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Good work.
Dream team. So we have complete. This is Emma, by the way.
Hi there.
Hello.
By the way.
Wonderful nurse practitioner,
wizard,
galore,
injector.
who's just injected me, and I survived, guys.
See, she looks fine.
I'm fine.
See, no big lump.
Yeah, you can see it all looks good. What was the cream you put on at the end there?
It's. Oh, I am going to show you because it's Tioxane. You probably can't see that. Yeah, post procedure, because then it's got chlorhexidine, which is antibacterial, and arnica in it, and that's truly lush. Yeah, beautiful.
So in terms of post-treatment care, do's and don'ts, talk to us.
Do's and don'ts with Botox. It's actually quite simple. So if you go running around and go to the gym now, you're just going to increase your risk of headache and bruising. So I suggest that you don't. Take it easy for about 12 hours. Don't go laying down, just stay upright, which is why we're doing this during the day. We've injected into very, very specific areas into your face, and what we don't want is that to move. So I'm going to ask you not to massage your face. Don't go and have a facial now, and just leave it to settle and diffuse. So aftercare after Botox is actually very low maintenance, which is why it's sold as a lunchtime quick treatment, which actually undervalues the medical status of it, I would say. But actually it's a relatively low maintenance medical aesthetic treatment. So essentially we've kept injection points to a minimum, and so you just need to keep clean, and then you can do your usual skincare tonight, and just let me know if you get any problems. That's the thing.
And you also mentioned earlier to avoid using the electrical devices for...
Yeah, that's the thing. So this is...
people have the pulsations, whether it's the Frome or, I don't know, there's other brands, aren't there?
Yeah, exactly. So this is fairly anecdotal, but what we're doing is we're trying to stop these muscles from moving, and there's anecdotal evidence out there to say that, say if we wanted to stimulate these muscles to get them moving again, that we would actually use an electrical device. So if the Botox had spread into a muscle that we didn't want it to, for example if you had a eyebrow ptosis, then we would ask you to use an electrical device. So the thinking is, don't use an electrical device afterwards, or otherwise you could potentially expede its wearing off. So don't do that. Don't do that. We want this to last.
So we'll probably do we will do a follow-up in like 2 weeks time, and we'll share that. We'll kind of talk to you kind of what to expect, or what, because each time will be different and each person is different, so that's where you kind of review it all.
Well, if I go back to my lovely paracetamol analogy.
Yes, this is good.
Right, so every time you take a paracetamol for a headache, the effect is slightly different. Okay? And so if you think about it, the effect of Botox every time can be different. It really depends, because every time you have it, if you're having this routinely, you're never going back to baseline. So actually, we need to slightly change the dose. And in fact, the outcome is never going to be exactly the same each time. And it really depends on your metabolism, the environment. So the same way, one paracetamol one time will work for you, and then the next time you take it for a headache, it does nothing. It's about everything else. It's the same way with Botox, and that's why I invite people back for a review, even if they've been coming to me for years. The invite is there, because we need to get the right outcome every time. You're spending a lot of money. This isn't cheap. So let's get you back for a review in a couple of weeks when it's worked, and then we can add. We just can't take away.
Amazing.
Well,
if you've got any further questions, pop them in the comments below, and we can answer them when we come to review time. And let us know what else you're interested in knowing, really, because Emma's happy for us to pick her brains.
Ask me anything.
She's an open book. Follow her on Instagram. It's the Babington Clinic.
Babington Clinic.
Yep, everything will be listed below and stuff. So thanks for coming on this journey with me, and until next time.